Bett African Dream, next support food sovereignty and food security. It's where people have physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food so that they meet their dietary needs and active healthy life. So the elements include food availability, where to ensure there is quality and quantity. There is food access, where there is home production and purchase. Food utilization, where the consumed food has a positive impact nutritionally on the person consuming the food. So the factors affecting is poverty, health, political stability, and access to the markets. The causes include extreme weather conditions and there's drought, which result in poor and failed harvest, which in turn result to food scarcity and results to high prices to the available food. So we can improve this by you close the yield gap when you encourage ecological farming, which enhances food sovereignty. You can also encourage agropastoralism, where you plant trees, you also plant crops, and again you keep livestock.
So with an addition to that, with regards to food sovereignty, I'm Samuel Otieno. Yes, with regards to food sovereignty, the food system in Kenya is broken, and people no longer trust what they eat. In this regard, most farmers are struggling with poverty, while millions of people are being faced with obesity and malnourishment. The organic farming combines modern technology and innovation with respect to biodiversity and nature. So the current model of agriculture supports monoculture, where vast areas of land are dedicated to genetically uniform plants. This kind of farming cuts down on the services provided by a function which trickles down to poor diets, which affects our health and due to lack of nutritional diversity. So this has an effect also on the nutritional levels. And if you actually consider the climate change that is currently ongoing, it affects also the rate of food production. And that also has a downside effect on the nutritional levels that required by different people. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, to all our eco judges, to our worthy opponents, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm so honored to be here to oppose the motion of food sovereignty. First, we start to ask ourselves, what is food sovereignty, or what is food? Opposing the motion, we mean that I'll have to go with food security. My name is Emmanuel Mamadi from the University of Nairobi. So we start by defining what is food sovereignty and see the difference with food security. Food sovereignty, as we see, is that the right of people and sovereignty states to democratically determine their own agriculture and food policy. That means that many farmers are the ones who make policies, and it's actually mostly talks about the freedom. I've forgotten. I'll do the introductions, and my other fellow colleague will do the battles. So I'll have all the 5 minutes. Well, going to the next one is food security. Food security is somehow, actually, it is the opposite of food sovereignty. Food security entails that it's a condition. That's according to the Food Agriculture Organization, which was redefined in 1996, which said that it is a condition in which all people at all times have physical, social and economic access to sufficient, safe and nutritious food for an active health with the intervention of the government. That's where food security comes in. Food security mostly talks about intervention of the government. So why food security and why not food sovereignty? Well, I'll start with the freedom. We all yearn for freedom. The fact that that person you're sitting next to has not pricked you or has not done anything to you, it's because there are laws. There are laws that restrict him or her not to do that to you. Why is that? Because once we as humans we are left to do things on our own or make our own policies, of course we are so much mature to make our own decisions. But once we are left that way, that means that we can do something that inhibits other people. So talking of freedom, the fact that every country has laws and restrictions should be a good indicator that given a chance to determine their own food policy without restriction from the government can consequently lead to a practice such as hoarding. You are given a choice. You choose food sovereignty. That means that you as a farmer, you make your own decisions. That means that you can choose to hoard. And when the government comes in, the government puts restrictions on such practices such as hoarding, and also some farmers who are not to be trustworthy. Moving to the next point, you'll find in food sovereignty, it mostly touches on farmers having freedom. And so farmers producing their own, how many farmers can produce? And we've seen here in the video that we have shown earlier on, that the farmer was so glad that they do a production and they go across the borders. So having food security, which will engage the government, it will mean that you also have to abide by the laws of the government. Government is not there to infringe on your rights. The government is there to make things better for you. Through the policy that the government will be making, you will be part of that policy. That will mean that food sovereignty discourages bilateral trade. Because how many farmers can access across the border? How many can access across the border? There are so many questions to be asked there. And you find that like Kenya we export something like tea or coffee to the UK, right? And that is because of the government intervention. That calls for food security and not food sovereignty, which calls for farmers only having a small market. They won't have enough market in order to transport their goods and do trade. It will kill bilateral trade. Another point for food security is that food security strengthens the relation between the government and its people. You'll find that in a country like Netherlands, most of the actually rich people are farmers. The reason being because the government is working with the people, and the people are the farmers. Because you'll find that the government, that's why we have states. According to the 1664 Westphalian Treaty, which defined a state, the state should have a government and should have the citizen. Why is the existence of the government if you don't want the government to make policies for you? So it says that the government not only comes through pricing, but also strike a balance between the farmers and how they can get right seeds, the right market, and its product to improve their living standards. In The Economist is a magazine in the UK, The Economist, it marked that food security is high in countries with improved economy, such as Netherlands, as I mentioned earlier on. And coming to the statistics of it, the statistics you'll find that the statistic of food security has increased by 3%, which has reduced the number of hunger. The number of hunger, which as per last year, it was 868 million. Hunger was 868 million people, which reduced to 842. That is 3%. The number of undernourished, which dropped by 17% from 1990. Thank you.
So you have 2 minutes for rebuttal.
Okay, thank you. Just to recap on what my opponent has mentioned concerning food sovereignty. In my view, I think involving the government also in some of some of our business, especially with regard to agriculture, it may be advantageous to some level, but again, It also